Unleash your ideas. Like and subscribe. Unleash your ideas. Like and subscribe. Yeah, yeah. Got a spark in your soul, time to set it free. From your heart to the world.
Testing. Okay. Hey guys, D Williams in the house. Today, even though I have my Unleash Your Ideas intro, we're doing Staffingpreneurs Academy. So I hope everyone is happy, fired up, and healthy. I have been under the weather in the worst freaking way over the last couple of weeks. It was really, really intense. So I feel extremely blessed to be here today and to be smiling and showing up for myself and all those great things. And so I hope you all, I wish everyone great health and so forth. So today we are definitely still talking about Staffingpreneurs Academy. You know, I got to tell you, like, I try to run from the academy. I try to run so bad, but it's not in my cards because so many amazing things are happening right now in society. Like so many transformations are happening, especially when we're talking about from a tech perspective and when we're talking about work and hiring and all of those things. I don't want y'all to get sometimes you get on social media and you see, so when you tap into an algorithm, right, you start getting the same kind of algorithmic things over and over and over again. And then you start to believe that this one message that's out there is the truth and what's happening across, the globe, or what is happening. And it's not, it doesn't represent that fully. That's something you got to know, right? And so sometimes we watch these videos and they're like, oh my gosh, the layoffs, the layoffs, the layoffs, the layoffs. And you're like, oh my gosh, the layoffs. And you're thinking that's where the world is. And I'm not taking away from organizations who are laying off. And that is true. There are a lot of organizations out there that are laying off. And I don't want to say a lot, but it seems like a lot when when you're on social media. But there are organizations that are laying off, and there are people that are out of work. There's no question about that. But there are also many organizations that are still hiring. And I got to tell you something today. I want to talk about not just your network, right? But I want to talk about how you're utilizing your network in order to really enhance your niche recruitment and staffing agency business. And I want you to think about this in a totally different way than what you've been thinking about it in the past, right? Because in the past, you've been thinking, I just got to staff nurses, or I got to staff warehouse people, or I got to staff this particular type of person. But today, organizations are clamming to integrate AI and robots into their business model. And because they want to do this, this gives you a very dynamic opportunity. And we're going to talk about that today. But before I do that, I just want to say what's up to everyone. I want to say, hey, I thought I saw Larry. Hey, Larry, if that's you, I miss you. And then I see Avaya, RN. Hey, how are you? Ava, that's my girl, Ava. Hey, Ava. I was trying to get that together there. And everybody else who's chiming in, I guess I should probably put my banner up a little bit. I'm really being very, very, very lazy. What's your name? Where you're chiming in from? And of course, if you want to talk about your agency a little more detail and just bring your idea to life, you can come to staffingpreneursacademy.com, have a conversation, that kind of stuff, and we can talk about it. But I want to have a very interesting conversation with you today, but you got to hold on for a second because I got to close my balcony door because the traffic is crazy loud. So hold on one second. Okay, yes, because I actually I want y'all to hear me because today is more about changing your mindset or opening your mindset about your agency and what you're doing with your agency and how you're moving with your agency and how things are evolving today, right? Because things are definitely evolving when you start talking about, when you start getting into AI, different things like that. Okay. So first things first, I don't have a cute PowerPoint presentation for you today, but I do want to just have this conversation with you. And then of course you can ask any questions that you have, feel free to ask any questions that you have. What my girl say? She said, my business is coming to life and I am so excited. Ava, that is such a blessing. Listen, you have put so much work in. From the idea to the setup to going to the conferences to networking. I'm so proud of you. I genuinely am proud of you. And I was honored to be your coach and to work with you throughout this process. And I look forward to seeing you continue to blossom and bloom. Like, this is what it is. I love it, love it, love it. Congratulations. That's my girl. I love Ava, actually. She's got such a great energy. I just really quick about Ava. I was at an event, and she drove to the event. I don't know if she drove to see me, but she found me at the event and was like, "Hey!" So I got a chance to sit and hang out with her, meet her, one of the other staff members. This is a lot of fun. I love this. She's got great energy. And then who we got? Hey, Nikki, you're in Texas. Oh, Shani. Hey, Shani. Hey, in Texas. That's my cousin's name. I love that. She's in Baltimore. Shout out to my cousin Shan. Shani, it's nice to meet you. Glad to see you here. A lot of my clients are in Texas, and I encourage everyone, if you're watching in, please do me a favor and let me know your name, where you're chiming in from. If you don't know who I am, I'm the lady that helps people set up staffing agencies. That's one of my specialties. It's not my only specialty, but it's definitely one of my specialties. And so if you're setting up your own agency or you're looking to set up an agency, you want to come and hang out with D Williams. Okay. Let's see what Ava said. She said, I just came back from Vegas. Okay. So you did go to the HLT. You went to the conference. Okay. It was worth the trip. Okay. Thank God you didn't drive this time, girl. Thank God you were in your flights these days. But there's nothing wrong with that, putting that grind in, driving with the grind. It is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to see. So I don't have to work the comments. Yes, you can see them like that. So there's nothing wrong with that. But yes, I love that. Come on with it. Listen, I'm so fired up today. I've been under the covers like this for 2 weeks. So I was so excited to put my little makeup on today, get my little haircut. Like, yes, D Williams is back. If I pass out, y'all better call 911. But I think I'm in a really great space. Hey, Steph, how you feeling, Poop? How you been? I love it. I love seeing y'all here. Okay, so I got to talk to y'all because, today we're really talking about like this whole AI integration with staffing and different things like that. I started the conversation out letting you know, please do not get caught up with the layoffs, right? Because that's going to happen. There's layoffs happening all the time. It's just about, I feel like politics, they define how and when they want to put it on Front Street or whatever's going on in your algorithm. But your network, who you're working with every day, it provides an opportunity for you right now. So I've been, I told you I've been under the weather. So when you're under the weather, you're sleeping and you like listening to podcasts mainly. I try to push through things, but as I was going and I was listening to different things, one of the reoccurring themes that I'm hearing is like enterprise level companies, 95% of their AI projects are failing. So the companies that are doing the most layoffs outside of the government are enterprise companies. Okay. Just telling you right now, it's not really small companies. Small companies typically need employees, right? But the really, really large companies, that's why you hear Amazon, Microsoft, just the big, large companies, those are enterprise level companies. And those enterprise level companies are laying off people, yes, large amounts of people so that they can automate and optimize. These are all in hyphen keywords, okay? And so what do you think is happening? Okay, because I want you to have some perspective around it. They're laying these people off. That they're doing is they're building their own AI, building AI. They're laying off their staff and they're trying to save money. Okay, but the reality is that most software developers are anti AI software development. Like they don't go together. Okay. And I know this for a fact because I build AI software and I was a part of building software that is more in the traditional style. So if any of y'all are on Reskillify, that's more traditional style software development. I have a development team, it goes like that. When you're building AI software, it's a little bit different. When I had issues with my AI software and I took it to a regular software developer, he would not touch it within a 10-foot pole. Like at all. He was like, nope, not interested. It's too much code. The code is convoluted. Like, no. And I started thinking then, I'm like, there's going to be a need for people who can actually look at AI code because this is not going anywhere, right? So now that's what's happening. So you've got these stakeholders and these corporate people and these enterprise level companies. They're like, oh, I want to build this AI. I want to pretty much replace people with this AI version of the technology. You work here, build it. So those projects are failing. They're failing because I'm sure that the developers don't want to replace themselves. They're not putting their heart and soul into it, whatever. So that opens up an opportunity for outsiders to come in. So you're talking about a consulting firm. Now these companies are bringing consulting firms in to come in and to do this AI. So your big consulting firms like Deloitte and all of them are coming in and they're like, yes, we'll build the AI, but they can't build it either. Because like once you get to a certain level, you have all of these processes and structure and organization and hierarchy and all of that stuff is just not as easy to go in and to build. It's just not. So what is happening where this opportunity is coming in, small startups are becoming multi-millionaire and billionaire companies because they are building with the AI. They don't have all of the boundaries that the enterprise level companies have. They are just learning on top of what they already know and trying to take what they know and utilize it. You can't really do that when you build an AI. It's like, if you're doing vibe coding. I think the best vibe coders are the ones who don't know how to develop, who just have the idea and they know how to, they understand how they want a user to run through a particular software. Now, over time, you will learn, different code and stuff like that. But that free mind is what gives you an advantage, right? So now you got this free mind and you're able to build this software. Okay. I hope all of this is coming together because I'm about to add another layer to this. So this is getting really important. Startups are the ones that are now supporting like enterprise level companies and they're selling their software to them. Stay with me. Okay. They're saying, hey, what's the problem? Let us go ahead and build it for you. Now let's take this a step further. There are people who are getting laid off and they're upset and they're distraught, but they have this knowledge in their heads. Okay. They have a double layer of knowledge or let's just say their knowledge creates double opportunity for you. Okay. So these people have this in their head, they get laid off. They need a company. They need a job. So first of all, you are a staffing agency. So you can either place them in a staffing capacity or you could add like a consulting division on to your company and you can do consulting. Okay. And you can take those people who got laid off and you sit with them. So it's going to require a little bit of extra work, but you sit with them and you find out what problems were you solving or what problems did you see? Because I'm going to tell you something else. Most of these big companies are not listening to their employees and their employees are the one that's doing the work. And now they're trying to take the work and put it off on AI, who doesn't really know what's going on either. You understand what I'm saying? And these employees are not going to be in a rush to just go and help AI per se, because they're about to lose their job. They realize they're training AI to replace them. But this is the thing. Here's the thing. This is where it gets exciting. What you want to do is take those people who got laid off, bring them into your office or into your office, right? And you want to find out what problems those companies are having or what's the biggest problem that they're having. And in my opinion, now I'm giving you $1 billion idea. Don't play with this right now. in my opinion, you create a partnership, start kind of like a different type of staffing agency. Don't do a traditional model. Like, do a model where people, even though the companies are paying you hourly, like this consulting fee for this person, so you still get your hourly bill rate. If you place them through your consulting division, you can place them for more money, first of all, than you could on the staffing side. So I would definitely look at that. But number two, you partner with them and you all could build some type of AI solution, because if one company is having the issue, I guarantee you, especially at an enterprise level, many other companies are having that same issue. And so not only are you selling the candidate back to them at a consulting level for a higher bill rate, but you're also selling a technology platform or a technology contract, right, with them to build it, right? Once you understand and learn how to build or hire vibe coders or however you want to do it. Did that make sense? There is opportunity out here, and it is it's startups, it's enterprise. There's a whole little system going on right now that is so exciting. I'm so fired up, as you can tell. Oh my gosh. Stephanie, she says, D, I'm currently working with startups. I love that. That's where you really want to be right now. And depending on the market that you're playing with, that's a great place to be. I would say that. But I'm going to also let you know, startups are going to keep the economy alive for these enterprise level companies in the interim. Now, don't get me started on how the world is going to evolve if nobody's working. I ain't got to that far yet. But I can tell you who got money, who's buying, who's selling. And, it is what it is. That's all I can say. Okay, come on, Stephanie. She said she signed the contract last week. Woo! That's awesome. That was for staffing, right? Come on, there's so much money out here. It's crazy. Money is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's crazy. I am so fired up. Come on with it. Yes. Who is that? I love it. Okay. We getting it in today. We're having that conversation about strategy. We're having that conversation about your network. We're having that conversation about the next phase of staffing. And I've been saying all year long that, we're coming into this space where staffing is not going to just be about placing humans. You're going to be placing humans. You're going to be placing AI. And I believe in the next year, you're going to be placing robots. And if you have a very open mind, you're going to see the opportunity in that now and start structuring that now. I just wrote a book, another book. I got another book. Okay. And, I made sure that my book was prepared and ready for the AI and the robot revolution that's coming. It's definitely coming. It's not even coming. It's here. Right. And so, but these companies they want to build it. They want to utilize it. So if you got a nurse, let's just say, I'm just using this for an example. You got a nurse, and this nurse is working in the office, in the facility every day. But every day they go on shift, they see the same issue happening in the ER, in the OR, in the whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And you got to start thinking differently. You got to start thinking, oh, this problem, can we turn this into a technology, an AI technology? Is this a problem? Where do we have other nurses who have an expertise in this particular area? You've got to start thinking a little bit differently. And I just use nurses for example, but it could be any role, right? And I use nurses for a number of examples because a lot of my nurses feel like their jobs are secure, but robots are coming. They're already in facilities helping right now. And I feel like personally, this is my personal opinion. Y'all don't have to take it, or you can take and do whatever you want to do with it. But healthcare facilities seems to be very greedy. Like they're not really, from what I can tell, not all of them, but many of them seem like they are like don't really care as much about patients safety, patient care, patient outcomes, the way they say they do. It's more about the money, right? And so it's a little frustrating coming from somebody who really believed in the healthcare system until she started working with nurses and doctors, and now they start, God, what's happening? I started learning so much more. But 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 the robots are here, right? And they're integrating them. And I feel like if the robots are going to save them on shifts and scheduling, then they'll do it. Just like they just so easily put in the online marketplaces where you can go in and look for the nurse jobs. I know you know what I'm talking about. Y'all know, some of you use them, some of you don't, but you all know that there's a lack of quality potentially in that model in itself, right? Because there's no quality check, there's no quality control anymore. It's like, I don't understand. It's like value is not what is, it doesn't seem to be what it's worth before. I don't know. Y'all know that's not my area of expertise, but I could just tell you that we're in a very interesting space, an interesting time in regards to that. And so you have to look at these things and figure out what's the opportunity for you, right? And how you want to do that is very, very, very important. And Nikki said, very true. I'm a nurse and it's getting worse as time goes by. It feels that way, Nikki. Oh my gosh. And what scares me the most about this, and I'm not trying to go on a tangent. I'm gonna read all of the comments. I'm not going on a tangent, but my mom's getting older. My mom's turning 70 in February. Now, while she's a spitfire, she pop her technology. She still work, even though she claims she retired and all this other stuff. Like, it starts to concern me because, again, I work with nurses and doctors the most. And when they start telling me the things, and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to protect my mom? How am I going to make sure my mom is in a great space if these facilities value money over patient outcomes and patient care? That's why I really valued the event that Ava and I went to a couple of years back, because you got to see like the nurses and the DONs in action, the ones who genuinely cared about these topics. They were speaking in different areas during the conference, and you could feel their passion. You could feel that the outcomes was what's most important to them. The thing that I think frustrates me the most is you got all of these amazing nurses and doctors and healthcare professionals that believe in patient outcomes and believe in patient healthcare and believe in all these great things, but the stakeholders of the facilities believe in the money. So there's already a disconnect that's there. And I think that's leading to our level of it's a demise in the care of quality that we're receiving as patients, and that my mom may potentially receive. And gosh, I was feeling under the weather that I could have been receiving. You know what I'm saying? So that was me on a tangent, but that's one of the reasons why I probably am still around, because I want to bring in as many nurses as possible who want to bring in, who want to start staffing agencies for sure. Because I feel like if you're engaging with me, you're coming with a level of ethics, you're coming with some values and different things like that, because like attracts like, and you're going to go out there and build something amazing. You're going to put amazing people in there, and maybe you can do that at the stakeholder level, right? I have I got this cool workshop I'm thinking about putting on. Y'all got to talk me into it, because I got to re-record the academy. I've been trying to do it all year and I haven't done it. But I've got this cool workshop that I want to do where, we talk more about the executive search layer of staffing, right? I mean, really hiring from top down versus bottom up. Everybody starts the bottom up route, but if you start that top down, you have a little bit more leverage. Don't get me fired up today, but I'm just letting you know that is an opportunity there for you. So, I'm feeling good again. Y'all gonna see. I'm back in my workshop space. I partner with a facility here in LA that'll allow me to do my workshops, as many workshops as I want, actually. And so I've got 2 in December right now that I'm doing. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I'm really excited. Okay, so let me go back, because I'm trying to get all the chat sends. I've been listening to your lives and I love it. Love your inspiration and teaching. Thank you. I do get fired up, a little crazy. Like, do you do YouTube interviews? I have a woman empowerment channel. Sure, I would love to. I do a ton of interviews. So I would love to. Thank you. Just reach out to me. You can DM me. I'm on every social network on the planet. So you can reach out. You can even go to Staffingpreneurs Academy if you'd like. I'm going live again tonight because we're definitely doing, I'm still in my 30-day challenge. Even though I was up under the covers, I didn't do any physical movement, but I definitely was still working on my challenge, my 90-day lock-in. So I'm going to see if everybody else been locked in while I've been locked in, but we'll go live tonight with that. I'm really excited to talk about that as well. But I'm coming back here to staffing again. Okay, because that's today's conversation. I don't want to get sidetracked. We are talking about staffing. Okay, we're talking about staffing AI. We're talking about staffing robots. We're talking about the opportunity that you have on the table to do that with your network right now. Okay, so I gave you an example earlier of like the healthcare, right? Going into healthcare, like, placing your nurses and different things like that. I even just gave you a freebie and talked about staffing top down versus bottom up. That's something you should take very seriously, put in your back pocket, schedule an appointment with me. D, how do I do this? Let's make it happen. But let's talk about some other roles because everybody's not out there doing nurses. So we know right now that there's a big movement of people moving from white collar jobs to blue collar jobs. It's very interesting. I've been in the staffing industry for a long time, like since I was a little girl. And so I've watched this industry go up and down, go through many twists and turns and different things like that. And at one point, it was kind of like not cool to have a commercial staffing agency because it takes more to make money, right? You've got to place so many people because the salaries and the margins are so low. You've got to place so many people in volume in order to make the same amount of money that you would if you were doing, a professional solutions. Let me show you. I'm gonna pull my calculator out. So I'm gonna give you an example because it's changing right now. There's a push right now going into going into commercial staffing, and the salaries are higher. Oh my gosh, it's getting crazy out here. It's almost like a reverse on what's been going on in the past. So let me get my calculator out. Let me get my calculator out. I think this is it right here because I have been thinking of you. Marketing. Okay, here it is. We'll do this one right here. And then let's go and put this right here. And then let's share my screen. Okay. Now we're going to share my screen. Yeah, you can do that if you want. I don't mind. I don't mind. There we go. And I think you can see my screen right now. Okay. Yeah. So the example, now y'all know I be recording. So I want to make sure that my recording is coming out right. But I hope you can see my screen. I'm going to open this up a little bit more, make it bigger. We talked about like when you have lower salaries, higher salaries, margin, and I'm not even talking about direct hire. Honestly, I really want to talk more about contract because I don't want to get y'all too fired up over here looking at all this money. Don't be looking at all this money. Don't you try it. Don't be looking at all this money now. Okay. Don't do it. Okay, we're going to take this back to 40 hours because we're not talking about nurses specifically. We're talking about nurses. Typically, they're on 36 hours a week, but we're talking W-2s. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger right here. This is the infamous calculator. And Trudy says, I love contract. Bring it, D. Come on, Trudy. You always got my back, girl. I love that. Trudy always she be getting me fired up too. She got my back. Okay, so you got to understand that like with professional solutions, you have the high ends, right? So and I'm going to show you that now just so you understand. If you got somebody who's making $50 an hour, let's take it higher than that. You got somebody making $125 an hour, like maybe one of the consultants I was talking to you about earlier, right? So you would be billing out roughly $206 an hour. You would make $51 an hour and 31 cents, right? That's $106,000 a year for one person on billing 40 hours a week. That's it. So let's say you just keep one person on billing all year round at $125 an hour, you would make $106,000 on the side, right? $2,000 a week. Now, if I took that down to $25 an hour, which is really what's made like in professional solutions, sometimes even lower, look at that. See the big difference? One person only brings in $21,000 for the year, $400 a week. We would have to put more people on billing. So we would need to put in, let's see, 12. No, we would need to put in 8. 6. So roughly 6 people to that one person. And it's, you know, in commercial versus professional solutions. Do you see how that works? So we put one person all year at $125 an hour, and that one person brought in 100 and something thousand a year. I'm going to show you again because I lost my number. I wasn't thinking it. So 125 an hour. Okay. They brought in 106,000 for one person on billing at $125 an hour. But for somebody at $25 an hour, you would have to put 5 people on billing to get that one rate for that one person. So in the past, it's like, do we really want to open a commercial staffing agency knowing you're not going to make as much money? You have to work 5 times harder in this particular example. And than you would if you did a professional solutions agency. But the thing is that right now you've got companies like Home Depot, Black & Decker, Stanley, Black & Decker, Lowe's, all of them are giving away free vocational training or some type of tuition for free training. And when those people get done with that training, they come out and their salaries are $100,000 a year. They're making 90, 80, 90, $100,000. So commercial solutions is changing. I mean, I guess I'm trying not to get excited. I'm trying to get excited about this, but this is a big deal because now instead of having that one, having to put 5 people on billing to cover that, their hourly rate isn't going to be $25 an hour. The hourly rate is going to be more along the lines of $40 an hour, somewhere around there, which means now you need to put 3 people on billing for the price of one versus, you see what I'm saying? And you're still now, it's opening things up a lot. I don't know if you can feel the energy of that, but it is opening things up a lot. This is a big deal, just so you know. This is a big deal. This is a shift in the industry. If you haven't recognized it, if you don't know it, if you don't see it, let me tell you right now. This is a shift in the industry. Now, a lot of the lower level warehouse picker roles and different things like that, let me see if I can find this video for you. Oh my gosh. There are companies out here. They are buying these robots. They are in line, waiting for the robots to be manufactured. So a lot of those 10, 12, 15, $20 an hour jobs, they're going to go away. Because robots are going to take those in the warehouse space. In manufacturing and logistics, robots are going to take those. But the positions that are getting higher, the more your manager, your thinking roles, this managing the robots, they're going to look for people who have experience, who are not going to be able to see what AI can see. Because if you have experience, you're going to see things AI is not going to see. Only if we upload it in the AI will it see it, or it will try to predict it. But your experience is always going to beat AI. So they're still going to need humans. They're just going to need the brightest of the humans, right? Or the ones who know how to think, or who know how to work with AI in that way. Okay. Also, the roles that I'm talking about in these blue collar roles that are going to be $100,000 and stuff like that, AI and robots aren't going to take those, from what we can tell, because those roles are more like plumbers, electricians, different things like that. So that's going to be a lot different. That's going to be exciting. That's opening up that's opening up a lot for us here in the world of staffing. So I absolutely love it. And I love to bring the money out, right? Stephanie, stand on me, girl. I'm not going to tell you what I had, but I was very, very sick over the last 2 weeks. So no, all I've been doing is hiding my head up under the covers and, logging in here and there, whatever. But no, I have not, but I will make sure I make that happen. Thank you for holding me accountable. That's what my 90-day lock-in is about. So I appreciate you, girl. You always got my back. Now come on with it. You always got my back. I think I shared a piece. Maybe I didn't share it because I didn't want to give it away yet. Because I like to hold on to things until I have them completely done. But thank you for holding me accountable on that part. I will make it available soon. Okay, so let's go back to yes, that's my girl. So let's go back to my staffing, right? To this conversation, because I want to make sure that you're thinking in an extraordinary way. I want to make sure that you're thinking beyond just I'm putting people into a job. Who are you putting into the role? Okay. And if you don't have a network of a specific people type, go and find them. You can create them. You can create that network. There are a billion different ways for you to create your network. Go and find them. Find the market that fires your soul up, and start figuring out what they know, because like these companies that are laying off, they all have similar issues. And like I said, this MIT report came out, so it wasn't D Williams. MIT report came out and said 95% of enterprise level projects are not going through. I'm like, we need to have all of that. We need to be partnering with startups. We need to be teaching AI. You need to be learning AI. I'm bringing my AI workshop back. I'm putting the banners and the flyers out for that now. So y'all are going to start seeing it today. Okay. So I'm doing a whole new, we had 9 staffingpreneurs that launched their AI software. And most of them were nurses, just FYI. I just want to give you heads up on that. It was crazy. Most of them were nurses, but we had 9 staffingpreneurs that launched their AI software. We're doing another class. It will be live in California and online. So you can get your tickets either or. I hope y'all come out to visit me. It's going to be in December. And we're going to sit down and really get busy with it. Do you hear me? If you've never been to my workshops, first of all, you should go through all of my testimonials. We have a reviews testimonials playlist on YouTube, and they will tell you like my workshops are the best. Okay. And I'm not just talking about like all the goodies and different things like that. I'm talking about the one we did in Dallas. I was so excited because the wall was all like whiteboard. So my class got to get up with their whiteboards, with their pens, and start whiteboarding their stuff out. Oh my God, I had an entrepreneur orgasm. I can't even lie to you, right? But now we're doing it in LA because I have access to this facility. And the facility I have access to is an art gallery. And so I was talking to the guy and I'm like, how can we make this? Because I was telling him how I was having these entrepreneur orgasms about the whiteboard and stuff like that. And he was like, D, this is an art gallery. We can bring that to life as well. So my first workshop is the AI workshop. It's December 12th through 14th. It's 3 days. You're going to walk in with an idea. You're going to walk out with a full AI platform that you can actually sell. You're going to have an MVP. So that's going to be crazy. Okay. And then you're going to go home and continue to build on top of it, but you're going to learn how to vibe code. You're going to learn how to build your business using AI. Like every idea that you have from this point forward after you take this class, you're going to just be like, okay, I got to put this on an AI platform. You're not going to think about Wix ever again in life. You are not going to think about WordPress ever again in life. And you are going to take on so much control, and it's just, you're going to love it. I'm telling you right now, because when you see how fast and how easy, now it's things you got to learn, it's things you got to know. It's so much better than it was 9 months ago. But when you see what your end product is going to be, you're absolutely going to feel proud. Right. And it's going to be a part of your level up, because now you're talking about reoccurring revenue on a consistent basis. It's just about what you want to build it towards. Some people, they want to build it towards their own business, right? They have their own business and they're like, oh, I need to do this, that. So I'm going to build the software like that. I think that's cool as long as it makes sense for you and other businesses that are experiencing or need or want that same format. If that's not the case, I wouldn't do it that way. That's my professional opinion. I wouldn't do it that way. I would find a problem that a company is having, a company type, preferably a larger company. Okay. But a company, and it could be a smaller company, it doesn't matter, but they're having this specific challenge over and over and over and over and over again. And you want to take that and turn that into your AI software. Now, is there alternate? Yes. One more thing you can do. Okay. One more thing. So if you have something for like entertainment, like if you know that a lot of people like something specific and they would be willing to pay for it, then yeah, sure, you can build an AI software that's more around entertainment. But the fastest way is to build it in for business, because businesses will invest 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, 200. Like they'll invest so much money. And I should pull out my other calculator, because y'all be liking my calculators. I should pull out my other calculator, because you'll be able to see, like, it's also same thing in volume. Your licenses, you sell licenses, right? So if you have an enterprise level company that has 10,000 employees and you providing something that they need, you could charge them $10 times 10,000 employees and look at what your monthly revenue would be. That's just with one customer. Now you duplicate that with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 customers, and then you're walking around probably somewhat of a solopreneur running $1 billion company. They're saying the first solopreneurs are going to pop up running billion and $1 trillion companies where they have 1 or 2 people in their companies, right? So you don't even have to have a full like 20, 30, 40 people in your company to do that anymore, because AI is changing the game with that. So it's all about who you know and what they know. And that's why I originally started this conversation out with these people who are getting laid off, or these people who are in your network. You should be interviewing them like crazy and asking them questions. Okay, so what did you do? Why did they need you? Why did they hire you? What happens when you weren't at work? Who took over the work for you? How has AI come in and taken over the work? What type of challenges did you see that AI was having? What was something that AI would not know unless it experienced the actual role working with you? What is it that the upper higher ups don't know that you know? Like, you got to get into it. You feel me? And really start helping that person understand even their value. Because if you really do this right, you could actually start your consulting division, showing them how to become a consultant and taking their knowledge and selling it back to the organization, but through your company. Do you understand? Because you have the relationship with not just that company, but many other companies in the event that company doesn't take them back, right? So you got that piece, and then you work with them and say, okay, so I see that we got you in here. Now, how can we build the problem? How can we build the solution? How can we fix the solution? How can we build it out for them? Or you can say, hey, let's partner and get many more contracts. You have other people who are like you that were on your team that was keeping this thing running. Because essentially what is going to happen is AI is only going to be able to go so far before they need to bring humans back in some way, form, or fashion. Okay, because we're human. And AI is AI, okay? And so it thinks in predictability. It's trying to pre-predict what we tell it, not necessarily it's smarter than us or it knows more than what we do. That's not true. And while it does gain knowledge with experience, there's no question about that. It's not in the same way that we gain knowledge and experience. However, it could also see things that you and I may not normally see. So it's more of a tool to expand what we already have. And so what these companies are doing is they're laying off. They're missing out on the opportunity to further expand their brands, their services, their products, and different things like that, because AI is not God, unfortunately. Unfortunately, however you want to say it, humans still rule. We still dominate, and our brain is still so elastic. It allows us to do things in a way, think in a way that others may not even be. I had to get it in there. I'm sorry. Y'all know how I am. So there we have it. There you have it. I can't wait for your AI workshop. It's coming. You're gonna see like literally my little videos coming out. I've been sitting on them, and then the links for them to come out. Also for the Academy workshop. I'm going to do a 3-day boot camp. I was going to re-record the Academy live. I'll probably do that on the back end. I think I'm going to turn it into a 3-day boot camp, and push people forward in that way. for anybody who wants it. 3 days live in December, same as what I'm going to do with the AI boot camp. I'm going to do the AI boot camp 1 week, and then the week following, I'm going to do the Academy boot camp, which will also include AI. So don't feel like you're going to be left out. But that Academy boot camp is not building your own AI app. I want to make that very clear. That's more about setting up your staffing agency, launching your staffing agency and running it. And you're using AI as like your core. Okay. But whereas if you're the other workshop, we're building AI so that you can go in when you're in your staffing agency, you can talk to your candidates and you can start to visualize, oh, we need to turn this into a software. Or as you're, like, and you're going to ultimately become an AI company. Like, I feel like most staffing agencies are going to become tech companies. I think you've heard me say that before, because you're going to make way more money. You're just going to make more money, and you're going to stay in the game longer, when you're presenting, when you're pushing AI products and robot products and different things like that. I believe staffing agencies will also, literally, I feel like staffing agencies will also, what was I going to say? So I was talking about staffing. They're going to become staffing companies selling technology. It's just a shift coming. I'm gonna just say that it's a massive shift coming, and it's not just coming; it's here. And so you've got to be able to look at the opportunities that are around you and to take full advantage of those opportunities. Where's my Kim? She said, "Thank you, Kim." I don't know why. Just come on in. The number is on the website. And I will tell you that I really, 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 Kim, I gotta just be honest with you. I have been trying to close the Academy down for the last couple of years, but it hasn't worked that way. My clients are actually winning like crazy. So it was one of the reasons why I have been unable to really close the Academy down, because every time I say, okay, I'm done, I'm not doing no more workshops, I'm not creating another digital product, I'm not doing any of those things, somebody will call me and be like, D, I just hit another 7 million, or D, I'll be like, oh my God, they're like, I need to hire you again. And so then I just keep staying open. But I really made an extorted effort to shut this business down, let my staff go, really like down to 1 or 2 people, and to really just focus on building my AI software and different things like that. But we have 1 or 2 people still around. And so if you don't get a phone call, just send us a text message, because you can just text us from that number. That'll probably get us a little bit faster. But we are here. And more importantly, schedule an appointment. Get on the calendar. Hey, let me show you. You can go in and you can just go to Staffingpreneurs Academy. And when you get there at the top, I'm going to open this up a little bit so you can see. Go, go, go. Hey. My computer is so slow today. Okay, there she is. That's such an old version of D. Williams. But the wig, I haven't worn a wig in since I can't even tell you, oh my God, y'all, guess what I saw yesterday for the first time? And I saw Who Cloned Tyrone for the first time. And the whole situation about the perms and the chicken and I don't know if y'all seen that movie, but I'm like, oh my gosh. Another conversation, another day. But you go to the Staffingpreneurs Academy, and there's like a number of ways you can contact us. Literally, the best way is to book a demo, right? You can book a demo, you can schedule a call. We have a special one for our nurses. If you're a nurse, you want to hang out with us there, we got a whole little video for you right there. You can go in and take a quiz. You can enroll. You can go through the enrollment form, or you can, just contact us. But it would be better to just schedule your call, get on the calendar, and make it real. And kind of go from there. The website is really full of a lot of information. Here's information about the setup course and the setup course versus the standard program. So you can see both of those as well as learn with D. All of these hyperlinks work. We have our reviews, all about Staffingpreneurs Academy. Our blog is full of information. And then, then you can go to the shop and shop. I haven't put the live event up, but it's going up in a moment. And we will sit there and go through, you'll be able to go through and buy your ticket. I'll send an email out online, send an email out to my list and let everybody know, and I'll post it on IG and LinkedIn and Facebook and so forth. So y'all know you can go and get your tickets. But I have 2 events that are going live. So I just want y'all to know, one is the 3-day boot camp for the Academy, but the other one is we are building AI software. Okay. We're building AI software, period. Okay. And so I want you to be involved with that. You should know how to build AI software. You need to know how to build AI software. I got one of my friend girls right now. She's got a restaurant and she like wants to use a Wix website. I'm like, girl, you better learn. Listen, you better learn how to use that AI software so you'll know how to build something that's going to be sustainable, not just sustainable, but you own it. And then you don't have to build when you have the AI software. You don't have to have all like different licenses. That's another thing that's like really powerful about the AI software. You don't need a billion licenses because the software will kind of build things out for you. And then you really end up saving money than you do spending money. So you just got to get into it. But I'm telling you, it's the most liberating feeling when you realize like, oh, I can just have AI build this for me. Oh, I want to do a challenge. I can have AI build my 90-day challenge. What? Oh, I want to do an email marketing. Oh, I can have AI. Like, oh. Now imagine like leveling that up times 10 and like solving real problems that companies are having. Like you're taking it to a whole different level and you're saying even more like, hey, I can place humans that can come in and do the work. If your humans ain't doing the work, we got AI software that can do the work. And if you don't like that, you know, in the future, you're like, I got robots that can do that too. And now you have a full circle. So I just want to just circle back around and let you know, first, I just want to remind you, you can do this. Okay. Do not play with it. You can do this. That's number 1. You can do this. And I need you to be serious about it and to do it. Okay. Number 2, I want you to be open about how you're going to evolve your staffing agency, how you're incorporating AI into your staffing agency, how you're interviewing people, what questions you're asking. Are you looking for the next opportunity? Don't get faded out with the other agencies who are going to try to do the same thing that's been happening over the last 50 years. We're going through a revolution. Okay, we had the Industrial Revolution. We're going through another revolution right now. You don't want to get left out on the back end. You want to be on the front end. You want to be right here in the midst of it, right? Riding the wave, if not ahead of the wave. And so you got to think differently about how you're staffing, how you're recruiting, how you're interviewing, what you're asking, what's the real end goal. It's not the placement. Okay, that is an end goal, but it ain't the real end goal. Think that through. Let that sit in a little bit. Okay. And then you take over the world unapologetically. You take over the effing world unapologetically. I am so excited for y'all. Okay. I'm done today. Just for today. I'll be back later this evening. When I come back later this evening, we talking about being broke. Okay. Being broke. F being broke. I said F-U-C-K, but F being broke. Okay, that's what we're talking about. This is part 2. And I've got things we're going to share. We're going to share frameworks. Okay, and we're going to talk about it. You're also going to see on my YouTube, before you go, you're going to see on my YouTube channel, I'm going to do live reads of the F Being Broke book. And so you're going to see, I want you to come in. You can download the ebook for free. You'll see later on this evening, but I'm going to be doing the live read. So I'm going to be trying to stick it in my schedule in little different places. So if you see it on my channel, like, subscribe, all that stuff. You're supposed to be liking and subscribing my stuff anyway. I don't know what you're doing right now. You tripping right now anyway. You're supposed to have been like this video. You're supposed to been love this video. You're supposed to been hearted this video. I gave so much knowledge out today. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. All right. So I will see y'all next week. I'll be back next week to talk staffing. I'll be back tonight to talk about 90-day lock-in. Be amazing. Book an appointment on Staffingpreneurs Academy. Like, subscribe. I'm playing my outro. Love.
Unleash your ideas. Like and subscribe. Unleash your ideas. Like like and subscribe. Yeah, yeah. Got a spark in your soul, time to set it free. From your heart to the world, be who you're meant to be. Ideas ain't meant to just sit on the shelf. Bring them to life, be bold, be yourself. No more waiting, now's your chance. Turn that thought into a master plan. Click that bell, let's make it loud. Dreamers, doers, stand up proud. Unleash your ideas, like and subscribe. Unleash your ideas, like and subscribe. Show the world what you've got inside. Unleash your ideas, unleash your ideas. You're one thought away from changing the game, one step closer to fortune and fame. Whether big, whether small, just begin. Every empire starts from within. Unleash your ideas, like and subscribe. Unleash your ideas, like and subscribe. If you're ready, let's go take a ride. Unleash your ideas, unleash your ideas.